My name is Lu Li. The signal cut out completely at 2:14 p.m. I had my headphones on back then in my rented apartment working on practice papers. The chirping of cicadas outside was so annoying. The aunt next door who does square dancing all day didn't turn on her speaker today. That teddy dog downstairs that barks like crazy at anyone it sees also went silent. The whole world fell into an eerie dead silence. Mom. No one answered. My mom works as a head nurse at the city hospital. She hasn't come home for 3 days already. Her last text was sent at 6 a.m. this morning. Lock the door tight. No matter if it's a doctor or a cop, don't open the door for anyone. Lu Li, stay alive. I thought she was making some dark joke back then, until I walked to the balcony. I live on the 3rd floor. That height is enough for me to see everything on the street. On the streets of this old residential area, several private cars crashed into each other, billowing thick smoke. A guy in delivery uniform was lying by the roadside. His movements were super weird. Only that teeth-gritting, creepy sound could be heard. Cold sweat instantly broke out on my palms. Right at that moment, there was a knock on the door outside. The rhythm was very slow, but the force was surprisingly strong. Is Lu Li home? It was a woman's voice. It sounded like Aunt Wang next door. I didn't make a sound. I tiptoed to the entryway. I looked outside through the peephole. This time the knocking was way more vicious. I even saw the dust on the anti-theft door, falling down in puffs. I realized that this old residential building was no longer safe. I forced myself to calm down. My only weapons were the folding knife in my bag and a solid aluminum baseball bat I bought for self-defense. I ran back to the kitchen. I filled all the kettles and empty bottles with tap water, even though we still have water now. But who knows if in a few hours, the water supply system will break down. Then I started shoving things into my backpack. Chocolate, compressed biscuits, a few cans of unexpired luncheon meat. How did my mom know this would break out? I stared at my phone screen. Even though there was no signal, I kept rereading that text message over and over. Suddenly I noticed the send time of the text, 06. The morning news on TV at that time was still reporting a local flu outbreak unless she was right at the source. The anti-theft door was knocked open a small crack. Lu Li! She actually still remembered my name. This was my first time facing death, but I knew that if I don't move right now, I'll never get the chance to go to the hospital to find my mom. Going through the front door is suicide. Who knows how many of those things are behind Aunt Wang? That delivery guy on the street had already stood up. He saw me. He didn't run, but moved in an extremely stiff way at a freakishly fast pace towards the building. Damn it. I climbed out of the windowsill. I gripped the water pipe tightly with both hands. Right when I was about to slide down, I caught a glimpse of something on the next door balcony out of the corner of my eye. That was my neighbor Uncle Zhang's balcony. The window was broken. A black walkie-talkie was lying scattered on the floor. It was making a faint static noise. This is the rescue point. Southern Suburb Gymnasium. Repeat if you hear this. Stay away from the hospital. The voice on the walkie-talkie cut off abruptly. My mind went blank for a second. My mom is right there. I gritted my teeth and slid down the water pipe. The rough rust scraped my palm raw. It stung like hell. When I was almost at the bottom, the awning couldn't hold my weight. It ripped apart with a tearing sound. I fell hard to the ground. The impact felt like my internal organs were all shifted out of place. To the left is the alley leading to the main road. To the right is a dead end. Several corpses were lying messily in the alley. I tried not to look at their faces. When I passed a trash can, I picked up a discarded bone chopper by the way. This thing works better than a baseball bat. I ran out of the alley entrance. The view suddenly opened up, but it also made people feel more desperate. This used to be a busy pedestrian street. Now the ground is full of scattered shoes, bags, and half-eaten snacks. Hey, over here. In a convenience store diagonally across from me, someone was waving at me like crazy. That's the rolling shutter of the convenience store. It was already pulled down most of the way. Only a gap less than half a meter high was left. A girl with a face full of freckles is staring behind me in terror. I turn around to look. The delivery guy somehow has already chased us to the alley entrance. And right behind him, swarms of dark shadows are pouring out from the street corner. I run as fast as I possibly can in my entire life and squeeze in right before the rolling shutter fully drops. The banging sounds from outside start instantly, along with the harsh screech of nails scraping against metal. I lie on the cold tile floor gasping for air. My lungs are burning like crazy. You're Luli, right? The freckled girl is holding a taser for self-defense and staring at me tremblingly. I recognize her. She's Su Ching, the campus belle from the class next to mine. What the hell is going on outside? I stand up and look around the convenience store. There's plenty of food and water here. It's safe for now, but I ignore her cries and walk towards the monitoring screen at the back of the store. The screen shows the footage of the back door. At the entrance of the freezer behind the store stands a man in a white lab coat. He's wearing a mask and calmly watching those zombies wandering on the street. He lifts his right hand holding a syringe and pulls down his mask gently. He mouths something silently. I get what he means. He said, "Wish yourself luck," and right after that, the bright incandescent lights in the store go out instantly. Even the monitoring screen turns into a dead, silent black. Fuck. In this enclosed space, the second I lose my vision, the screams from the street outside are amplified infinitely. Suging lets out a short scream and steps back abruptly, knocking over a row of shelves. Shut up, I keep my voice low. I lunge towards the sound and cover her mouth tightly. I can feel her whole body shaking violently. Her cold tears get all over my hand. Listen, Sujing, those things outside are extremely sensitive to sound. If you scream one more time, I'll throw you outside. Take a deep breath, nod if you understand. Good. I let go of her and grip the bone chopper I picked up earlier. The anti-slip patterns on the handle dig into my palm, giving me a tiny shred of pathetic sense of security. The back door. We have to check the back door. This rolling shutter at the front won't hold for long. If the back door isn't properly locked, we'll be sitting ducks. We crouch down, using the dim light from our phone screens turned to the lowest brightness, walk through rows of shelves, and feel our way towards the storage room deep in the store. When we reach the end, there's a corridor leading to the storage room and the freezer. The end of the corridor is the back door. With the faint light, I see the iron door of the storage room is left ajar. Stay close to me, don't make a sound. The phone light sweeps across the messy cardboard boxes and finally stops at a dark shadow in the corner. It's the convenience store manager, a chubby guy who always had a smile on his face normally, but now he's squatting on the ground with his back to us, gnawing on something like crazy. He seems to notice the light. The chewing stops abruptly. It turns its head stiffly and gets into an attacking position. Get out of the way. I push Suching away hard and roll to the side as well. The manager's huge body slams hard into stacks of mineral water crates behind me. Water bottles scatter all over the floor. It growls and turns around, opens its big mouth and lunges at me again. That's way too fast. This kind of explosive power is definitely not something a middle-aged chubby guy should have. I don't have time to stand up at all, so I instinctively raise the baseball bat across my chest. It slams hard into the baseball bat. The huge impact knocks me completely to the ground. My arms are pinned down tightly. Its strength is unbelievably huge. Sukung, taste it! Suging snaps out of her extreme fear. She screams and rushes over, and jabs the taser in her hand hard into the back of the manager's neck. If this were a normal person, this hit would be enough to knock him unconscious. But the irrational manager feels no pain at all. It flings Suching away violently and slaps her so hard that she, along with the taser, goes flying across the room. But that less than 1 second twitch gives me an opening. I yank my right hand out from under me and pull out the bone chopper tucked at my lower back. Without any hesitation, right now there's only one primal command in my head. Survive. I used every last ounce of my strength, aimed for the soft exposed neck he left open when tilting his head back. I shoved that heavy body away as hard as I could, gasping for air in big, ragged breaths. My face felt all sticky and gross, reeking of a disgusting, weird stench. Luli. Subin clutched her swollen red cheek as she got up, staring at the monster on the ground. She was so scared she couldn't even make a sound while crying. Go lock the back door tight, hurry. Sugin stumbled to the back door at the end of the hallway, pulled the heavy metal door bolt shut, only after confirming the back door was fully locked. I finally felt my taut nerves ease up a little. I grabbed my phone and shone the light where the shopkeeper had been. There lay a person wearing a courier uniform collapsed on the ground. His body was already mangled beyond recognition. Next to this person was a silver medical cooler box. Obviously, this wasn't something that belonged in the convenience store. The cooler wasn't locked, it was half open. I walked over and lifted the lid with the tip of my knife. There was only one black military walkie-talkie inside. Warning: the defensive line at Central City Hospital is about to pull back. Full physical lockdown of the entire hospital will start in 3 hours. Luli! The whole outside is locked down. We can't get out, right? You can stay here. The water and instant noodles here are enough for you to live almost half a month. But the rolling shutter won't hold for long. If those attackers break in, you'll just be waiting to die. I'm not begging you to come with me. I'm not Superman either, but I'm heading to the city center right now. If you want to live, wipe your tears right now. Prove you're not a dead weight that'll get me killed. Central City Hospital is about 5 kilometers from here. Normally it's only a 15-minute bus ride, but now... I'll go with you. Good, wipe those tears away. Come help me up front. We've got some DIY work to do. This convenience store isn't big, but right now it's our only armory. Regular people's clothes are nothing against those attackers. They're as thin as tissue paper. We have to arm ourselves. Go find thick magazines. The thicker, the better. And wide packing tape. The more the better, move fast. When people are in extreme fear, as long as someone gives clear orders, they can actually summon the drive to take action. The girl soon brought over a stack of thick magazines and 5 or 6 rolls of yellow wide packing tape. I tore off a strip of tape, folded 2 thick glossy magazines in half, wrapped them tight around Su Qing's forearm, then wrapped the wide tape around it over and over super tight. What is this for? Bite-proof armor. A human's bite force can't bite through. This thick glossy paper and tape. Arms and legs are the easiest parts to get attacked. We'll wrap your calves too later. Using the same method. In less than 10 minutes, both of our forearms and calves were strapped with this kind of armor. Walking felt a little stiff, but these few millimeters of thickness could be the line between life and death. Next up are weapons. The cleaver in my hand is sharp, but it's way too short. That close quarters fight earlier still gives me the creeps. I need something that lets me keep a safe distance. As the saying goes, the longer the weapon, the stronger your advantage. I ran to the cleaning supply area, grabbed a mop. This was a really good quality mop with a metal handle. Su Qing, hold this down for me. I took out a roll of the widest heavy-duty black electrical tape, wrapped the knife handle and the metal pole together super tight to keep the blade from falling off when I swing it. I ran to the hardware section again to get zip ties, wrapped 7 or 8 more rounds around the tape layer. I hefted this newly made, long-handled broadsword. The center of gravity is a little too far forward, but the 1.5-meter length is more than enough to chop off those things' necks. As for Su Qing, she's too weak. Giving her a sharp weapon would only make her more likely to hurt herself. My gaze swept over the fire equipment box in the corner. Pulled out a red dry powder fire extinguisher, stuffed it into her arms. The extinguisher was really heavy. She stumbled a little when she caught it. Hold on to it. If you run into danger, pull the safety pin, aim it at their faces, and spray. I stared into her eyes, making sure she understood this rule of survival. The dry powder will instantly take away those creatures' sight and sense of smell to buy us time to run away. And one more thing. If the fire extinguisher runs out, Use this instead. Don't light it unless it's absolutely necessary. You might burn yourself easily. Mm-hmm. The panic in her eyes faded a little, replaced by a forced, desperate will to survive. Countdown, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Pack only high-calorie food and water. Don't overpack the bag. It's too heavy to run fast with. We were like two greedy hamsters, ransacking the shelves quickly. I grabbed a handful of Band-Aids, gauze and alcohol into the side pocket. The bottom of the front rolling shutter had been bashed open with a dent. Several slime-covered hands reached through the gap. They smelled living, people. More are coming. There's at least dozens of them outside. We can only take the back door. Since that guy in the white coat left through the back alley, it means there's a way out there. Remember what I'm about to say. It decides if you live the next 5 minutes. First, never scream once we're outside. Even if one grabs your leg, you choke it down, got it. Second, if we get surrounded, I'll try to clear a path up front. You stay right behind me. Use the fire extinguisher to cover our flanks. If I go down, don't stop for me. Spray a path clear. Run to the hospital by yourself. Third, don't feel sorry for any of them. They're not your neighbors. Or your teachers. Scorching heat and stinking stench hit us right in the face. There were no zombie hordes in the back alley, that's true. But it was way worse than we thought. A light truck had crashed into the wall, blocking the already narrow path. The engine wasn't fully cooled yet, so the crash must have happened recently. On the hood of the truck, several figures were huddled around, a mangled body tearing at it wildly. Soogung, stay close to me. Don't be scared. I roared at the top of my lungs, gripping the metal pole with both hands, aiming the long blade at its vital spot. Using the momentum of its forward lunge, I shoved the blade hard. Now Sujing. Soogung yanked the safety pin out of the fire extinguisher and slammed down the handle hard. Pressurized gas burst out mixed with dry powder, completely engulfing the narrow alley. Zombies don't feel pain, but the powder instantly clogged their noses and windpipes. I took the chance to kick up hard, pulling the blade out of its socket. The creature slammed to the ground, twitched twice and went still. I grabbed Suqing's hand and used the powder as cover, moved towards the blocking truck. If we can get through this gap, we can make it to the main road. We covered our mouths and noses, moving through the white fog. Just as we were about to get through, the truck door made a soft click. It was pushed open a crack from the inside. A pair of bloodshot eyes locked onto us. They belonged to a living person. My heart leaped with joy. A burly, rough-faced man leaned out, holding a heavy wrench in his hand. A tall, lanky man was crouched behind him. They looked down at us, sizing us up. Not bad moves there, kid. I was on high alert immediately, and instinctively held my weapon across my chest to shield Suqing. Get out of our way, we need to get through. Get through? Outside's full of those biting maniacs. It's fate that we ran into each other. We're starving half to death. How about you toss your bags up here, and I'll pull you into the truck to hide. Suju! No thanks, we're in a hurry. I didn't hesitate for a second. Pulled Suqing and tried to squeeze through. Giving supplies to strangers is basically asking to die. Ha ha ha. You chose the hard way. By now, the white fog had cleared. The zombies picked up the scent again. On top of that, loud, dense noises came from the main road. Our racket drew all the nearby threats over. The burly man's face fell. He realized this was about to become a death trap. He glanced at the approaching zombies, then looked back at us, his gaze full of malice. Second brother, run now. He jumped down and headed straight for us. What are you doing? Ha ha ha, sorry, kiddo. He was actually planning to feed Suqing to those monsters. I didn't chase after him. Instead, I pounced like a cheetah at Suqing, who was midair. My back hit the brick ground hard. The pain made my vision go black for a second. A suit-wearing zombie was already right in front of us, going straight for Suqing's neck. Soogung closed her eyes in despair. Get lost. Ugh. I never meant to hurt Bolin, but Bolin wanted to feed me to those monsters. Su Ying, pass me the insecticide. I didn't stick around to see what happened to him. I just helped Su Qing climb onto the car roof. We scrambled over the barrier on all fours and jumped off the other side. We landed steadily on the edge of the main road. That's the rule of the apocalypse. Those who hurt others will only end up hurting themselves. Your arm? She stared at the deep bite mark on my left arm. Tears burst from her eyes. If I hadn't jumped in to block it, that bite would have crushed her throat. I'm fine, the armor didn't get pierced. Stop crying, save your energy. That scuffle just now drained more than just our stamina. We also wasted precious time. Abandoned cars are blocking the whole road. 2 armored personnel carriers are parked on the only path forward. Sandbags are stacked up to form a defense line. Behind the defense line, zombies swarmed like a black tide, wandering around aimlessly. Luli! We can't get through that. We have to, even if we can't. That being said, if we try to fight our way through, even if we had unlimited stamina, and every slash hit its mark, the blade would still get dull. We'd end up getting swarmed by these monsters eventually. I can't die here. Luli, look over there. That's a manhole cover. A crazy but doable plan quickly formed in my head. Sudong, take out your phone. Huh? My phone. There's no signal right now anyway. No signal doesn't mean no sound. We're gonna play a super upbeat dance track for the uncles, and aunties wandering outside. We snuck into the electronics store. There were a few zombie staff in blue uniforms inside, but they were all trapped under the collapsed shelves. I walked over without hesitation. My movements were quick and decisive, made sure they couldn't make a single sound. Then I rummaged quickly through the messy display counters. Lucky me, I found it. It's a subwoofer loud enough to shake the whole street. It's got 80% battery left, that's more than enough. I turned on the speaker right away and paired it with Su Qing's phone via Bluetooth. What are you doing? It's a diversion. Once the alarm goes off, this place will be the center of attention for the whole city. Listen up, here's the plan. I'll throw the speaker into that car's trunk. 3 minutes after I shut the trunk, all the zombies on the street will be drawn here, and we have to get into the underground pipeline system in those 3 minutes. What if there are those things down there too? Staying up here is a death sentence. Down there, we at least have a 50% chance of surviving. Take this. I'll use the knife handle as a lever to pry the manhole cover later. You push down on the other end. Countdown starts now. Hurry, faster! I used the abandoned cars as cover and snuck over to that black SUV successfully. Shoved the Bluetooth speaker deep into the trunk. The sound of the trunk closing alerted the zombies. They set their sights right on us. Luli! Hurry! I dashed over in one stride, grabbed the long-handled knife. This thing is heavier than I thought. Even worse, the gap is stuffed with years of dirt and rust. No time left. We can't force it open. A few zombies nearby have already spotted us. At this critical moment, the timer hit 0. The high-power subwoofer kicked on. The zombie in front of me froze suddenly. It completely ignored us and ran like crazy toward the direction of the SUV. The plan worked. Go down, quick. Susan climbed down the rusty ladder into the darkness. I followed right behind her. Before I climbed down, I grabbed the manhole cover with both hands, pulled it back into place with all my remaining strength. The sewer was pitch black. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It's way wider down here than I thought. We survived. Don't get too excited yet. Following this main pipe should lead us straight to the hospital's underground morgue or utility room. Luli! Take it easy, wait for the right time to spray him. then run backwards. I didn't have time to think too much. I followed my gut feeling of the general direction of the hospital and ran with Suching. I don't know how long we ran. We reached the end of the slope. In front of us was a rusty iron fence gate. The white tiles behind the gate and the smell of disinfectant in the air already said it all. Let's go. Freeze, who's there? We're looking for someone, head nurse Lu Fang. At the mention of Lu Fang's name, the previously dead silent hall started to have a strange restlessness. You're looking for head nurse Lu. Is she here? No, she's not here. This afternoon, the Southern Suburb Defense sent their last rescue squad. Since the vehicle had a limited load capacity, the name list was sorted by contribution. Head nurse Lu was originally on the first batch list, but she gave her spot to an injured pregnant woman. She went to the south of the city with the volunteer convoy to collect urgently needed antibiotics from the warehouse. She went to the south of the city. What about that convoy? They never came back. 2 hours ago, the south of the city was engulfed in flames. The last signal on the radio said they were trapped in the warehouse. A huge horde of monsters surrounded the place. The convoy is most likely already gone. Luli! I'm going to the south of the city too. Forget it, kid. The south of the city is a meat grinder right now. No one's stopping you if you want to die. But leave the food in your bag before you go. We all got to stick together here. Resources have to be distributed uniformly. A few frail elderly people and kids were salivating at the bread in the burly man's hand. The so-called uniform distribution never actually benefited the weak. What if I say no? Then you won't get out this door. In this lawless no man's land, survival of the fittest is the only rule. There are hundreds of monsters outside the gate. You don't have the guts to go out and fight them. You only know how to rob food from kids inside. The stuff in this bag is something I risked my life to bring from the supermarket. You want to rob me? Fine. Let's see if your life is harder, or my knife is sharper. We walked through the hospital corridor, getting ready to leave through the side door. That's my mom's clothes, Sister Aunt Lu said. As long as I stay here obediently, she will definitely come back with medicine. Is she lying to me?
She's not lying to you.
See this needle. It always points to hope. Aunt Lu is on her way back. If she accidentally gets lost, this is the token she left for you. I told a lie that may never come true. In this hopeless world, sometimes a lie can keep a kid alive. Let's go. We got back on the street again. The road to the South City warehouse is 7 kilometers long. There are more monsters on the street than before. They seem to be more sensitive at night. Luli, you could have ignored that boy just now. Saving people isn't for rewards. I don't want to end up like that robbing burly guy. We were like 2 nimble black cats, moving through the shadows. When we passed an intersection, I saw a flipped van with a Red Cross sign sprayed on its side. I rushed over, not to save anyone, but to confirm something. Help me, please! We can't save them. There are at least dozens of those things on that floor. There's only 2 of us. We'll die if we rush in. But listen, Sujing, kindness isn't stupidity. I have people I need to protect. In this world, You can only save people who can save themselves, or people you have the ability to save. Right now, we only have enough strength to finish this 7-kilometer run. The huge logistics warehouse was on fire, flames reaching the sky. The fire dyed half the sky red. On the rooftop of the warehouse's second floor, a few figures were shooting desperately at the horde of zombies below. I leaned in and sniffed. The pungent smell jolted me awake. It's industrial-grade isopropyl alcohol. Fire alone isn't enough. There are too many zombies. Got it. High concentration dust in a closed space will explode violently when it meets open fire. We ran as fast as we could. We also hurl ethanethiol-filled glass bottles at the zombie horde by the warehouse entrance. Taking advantage of the few seconds when they're distracted by the flames, I dragged Suqing to the charred, deformed side door and squeezed through its crack with all my strength. Mom, where are you? Luli! Second floor. Hurry up to the second floor. Mom, why are you so dumb? You shouldn't have come here. Cut the crap. The first floor is gonna collapse. We have to jump out of the second floor window. It's way too high, and there are all those things down there. I've got a big surprise waiting for them. Go, don't stop. 5:40 a.m., the 4-meter-tall steel fence of the southern suburb defense line finally came into view ahead. Below the fence was crammed full of survivors escaping from every corner of the city. All personnel please remain calm and go through quarantine inspection. Anyone who forces their way through the defense line will be considered infected and shot immediately. Luli, there's a doctor over there. Stop! Keep a 3-meter distance. My mom is the head nurse of Central Hospital. She brought out the warehouse medicine list and experimental data. We need to get in. Everyone has to take off their clothes for inspection. Anyone with wounds will be quarantined on the spot. Even a tiny scratch from a nail is not allowed. This is a glass cut on her, not a bite. Rules are rules. During the virus incubation period, no one can tell a scratch apart from a bite. Send her to the quarantine point in Area C. Move over, don't block the way. People without wounds go in first. Those with wounds just wait to die. That's just how it is. He actually survived too, and he's got a few more helpers with iron bars by his side. Hey buddy, we meet again. See, this defense line doesn't care about your so-called values. Here, the strongest make the rules. Leave your mom in the quarantine zone. Bring this girl and work with me. I got connections here, I can get you in early. I ignored the bald man's provocation and looked at the doctor in the sentry box instead. Hey, you little punk! How dare you ignore me? This data is what my mom risked her life to bring out. It has the storage coordinates of that batch of medicine. Without this list, even if you drive a tank in there, you'll only find a pile of useless waste paper. You want to negotiate terms? I'm not negotiating terms. I'm demanding fairness. My mom can accept quarantine, but it has to be a separate quarantine room with basic medical conditions. And she needs an immediate injection of glucose and tetanus shot. Otherwise, she won't last 24 hours. Screw your fairness. My life ain't worth shit here. But I've killed zombies. And I've killed people like you too. If you want to use me as a stepping stone, you better check if your neck is tough enough first. Get lost. Let him in. I'm the defense line commander here. Kid, you've got real guts. But rules can't be broken. Your mom has to go to the quarantine room. But I can agree to your request, to give her the best medical care. As for you two, since you have no wounds, you can go directly to the transfer station in the inner city. They have hot water, dry clothes, and hot porridge there. Go ahead, Luli. Take good care of Suqing. Mom is safe here. Inside the southern suburb defense line, it's not the shelter I imagined. This used to be an unfinished sports center. It's divided into 3 zones inside. The core zone houses evacuated officials, experts, and their family members. The buffer zone is for able-bodied people with skills or labor capacity, and those of us who came in last, with no connections, were herded into the mud zone. The mud zone lives up to its name. Tens of thousands of survivors are crammed into open plastic tents. Porridge distribution! Come get your porridge! Ha ha ha. You call this porridge? Be grateful, newbie. If you want solid food, trade something for it. Or join Brother Long's joint defense team. Back at our tent. It was actually just a low shed made of 2 pieces of tarp. Besides Suqing, there were also a few students who escaped from the hospital. Brother Lu, you're back. Someone came by just now. They said every tent has to hand over half their stored food as protection fee. Who said that? I said it. Kid, you have no home advantage here. Brother Long is the law around here. You messed with me. You gotta pay with your life. But these chicks... Try me. Fine, let's try it. Smash everything. Grab all the food. Take the people too. The tent is too cramped. I can't swing my dagger properly here. But a dagger's not the only thing I've got. Ugh, keep the girls safe. The bald guy's got more men, but they're just a disorganized mob. They don't have that ruthless edge you get from fighting through hell. Yeah. Stop right there. Anyone caught fighting loses 3 days of rations. Lucky day for you, kid. Brother Long said, there's a sweep tonight. Let's see how you survive that. Lu Li, we can't outrun this. They've got men and territory.
To guys like them, we students
Are just lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Against zombies? We're survivors. Against other humans? Are we supposed to just become sacrifices? Jisujing, listen up. We can't count on the soldiers who can barely take care of themselves. And we definitely can't count on these thugs to have a conscience. If we don't want to get robbed, the only way is to stick together. One person gets robbed. What about 10 people, 100 people? Starting today, we're forming a student mutual aid association. I'm not going to be your boss, but we do have 3 ground rules. Equal distribution of food. Take turns on night watch. If anyone gets picked on, we all fight back together. Brother Lu, I'm with you. Me too, I don't want to be dead weight anymore. We're not just going to get food. We're going to get justice too. I know Brother Long can do whatever he wants here, because he's in cahoots with some people who run supplies in the inner city. They withhold food rations from the refugees, then resell them at exorbitant prices. This isn't just a crime. This is murder. Lu Li! What's your plan? Just the few of us. We can't storm the core area. We don't need to storm it. They're greedy. That's their biggest weakness. We need leverage. I thought of my mom. She's in the quarantine zone. If I can get that more detailed medical warehouse inventory list, I can talk directly to the top commander here.
Are you Luli?
I know where the person you're looking for is, but I need you to kill someone for me. Who? The deputy director of the core area. He killed my sister, just to free up a bed for his mistress. Killing won't solve anything. Not right now, anyway. Then what do you suggest we do? Just watch them live like kings. Watch our people die like animals from sickness. We're gonna take out their foundation. Starting tomorrow. The Mutual Aid Association isn't just grabbing kanji anymore. Take a few sharp boys to work at the garbage dump. Only handle the household waste from the core area. Suging, take the girls to help the core area's family members wash clothes and do mending. Or work as temporary cleaners for the logistics team. Why are we taking these jobs? Those are all servant jobs. We're serving them to keep an eye on them. Garbage tells us what they eat and what they're short on. Washing clothes tells us who's injured, who's secretly taking medicine for alkali deficiency. We're gonna be the shadow spies of the inner city, where Deputy Director Zhao holds his meetings. When supplies for the defense line are delivered to the warehouse, we need all this information in 3 days. The Mutual Aid Association grew quickly from 5 members to 50 in the mud zone. As long as you share a sip of clean water with someone, you'll gain an ally. I set up a very crude but efficient intelligence exchange network. Brother Liu, this was found in the waste paper basket of the core area's administrative building. It's torn up really bad. But Suqing and the others are careful. They piece together a few key points. The list shows that last night, 3 tons of canned goods and 20,000 doses of antibiotics were put into storage. But this morning, Brother Long's men are selling them for 10 times the regular price. What's more, I found in Deputy Manager Zhao's mistress's pocket a private IOU. Deputy Manager Zhao actually took public medical supplies and pawned them to black market dealers in exchange for gold and luxury watches. Turns out all the suffering on this wasteland is just entertainment for them over drinks. Humph. We've got enough evidence. Brother Long is bringing men to the warehouse to pick up goods tonight. He will take 1/3 of the antibiotics and sell them to private survivor bases outside. We should go rob them. Nah, we're gonna tip others off. Heh heh. We'll leak the info to the assistant who wants a promotion and rally all the refugees at the same time. Hey there. Porridge is served. Hey, y'all. Look, everyone. What's this? 3 tons of canned goods. 20,000 doses of antibiotics. That's our life-saving supplies? But they sold them for gold. What nonsense are you spouting? You want to die. He's not lying. Look at the mud under your feet. Then look at the meat in their mouths. Brothers of the patrol team. Didn't your pay get cut in half too? Aren't your families crammed in the quarantine zone too? This is what Deputy Manager Zhao gives you in return. Kill them, kill them. Don't charge the defense line. Don't hit the soldiers. We want to talk to the commander. We want the truth. Let us in. Let us in. Look, Luli. Deputy Manager Zhao will be investigated. Brother Long's men will be punished. But this is only the first step. We need the Mutual Aid Society to get legal labor rights and management authority. It's you. You got in here with a list 3 days ago. And today, you almost brought my whole operation down with dozens of paper scraps. Colonel, this isn't a riot. It's a petition. Every day in the mud zone, dozens of people die from lack of medicine, and the numbers on this list can keep them alive for months. Take him away, court-martial him. What about Brother Long's men? The Joint Defense Team is disbanded immediately. All Corps members are to be detained for trial. The crowd has dispersed now. Luli, come with me! Deputy Manager Zhao has been removed from his post. Brother Long's forces have been completely uprooted. You won, Luli! But you left me a huge mess. There's a management vacuum in the mud zone. If I send troops to station there directly, it will only worsen the conflict. That's why we need legal status. The Student Mutual Aid Society needs an official designation. We will be responsible for the mud zone's supplies, distribution, supervision, and basic order maintenance. In return, we can provide the most accurate population data and labor allocation. You're barely in your 20s, Luli. You think I can hand the lives of thousands of people over to a young guy like you? What I've learned over all these years is less than 1/10,000th of what I've learned these past few days. Colonel, you're short on staff, and I have the people's trust. That's the best deal you can get. After half an hour of negotiation, we reached a temporary wartime mutual aid agreement. The Mutual Aid Society got official, red armbands and extra food rations. More importantly, we got passes for free travel in the inner city. Luli, don't stand out too much. Don't worry. Brother Lu, something's wrong. What happened? Remember old man Wang from the west side of the mud zone? The one who coughs all the time and had his rations stolen by Brother Long. Didn't he just get kanji from the Mutual Aid Society yesterday? He's gone. He didn't die of illness. He's missing. This evening, a group of men without camo uniforms came into the zone. Said they were doing epidemic prevention checks and took him away directly. My buddy at the tractor transfer station checked. His name isn't on the quarantine list at all. Old man Wang only has a regular cold and cough. Why would they? It's not just old man Wang. I was washing clothes at the core area admin building today. I heard people in the buffer zone are also getting fever for no reason. But the weird thing is, the military hasn't issued any mass infection alert. I have a bad feeling. Come on, let's check the side door of the core area. This is it. Look, that's Grandpa Wang. Luli, look at what they're holding. Are they rescuing people? Or... Azza, stay calm! Go back to the tent first. We need to figure out a plan. I'm sneaking into the quarantine zone tomorrow night. We need to let Colonel Wei know what kind of virus has snuck into his territory. Brother Lou, we only have 20 minutes. Huh. Grandpa Wang. This is... Your mom is a miracle, Lu Li. This kind of gene shouldn't be wasted in a stinky gutter like the mud zone. Lu Li, against the future of all mankind. You and your mutual aid society are as cheap as dirt. I'm not listening to your crap. Fine, great, guards. I just cut the power. What's going on? Lu Li! Colonel Wei really can't keep an eye on everyone. Those lab coats are doing human experiments. My mom is next. If Colonel Wei doesn't want to handle this, then we'll do it for him. I'll rally all 10,000 people in the mud zone. Brother Lou, what do we do? No smashing, no looting, no provoking soldiers. We need every single person inside this defense line. To see all these images, we'll force Colonel Wei to choose between humanity's future and basic human decency. Cuff, cuff, cuff. Look, this is Grandpa Wang. This is Aunt Lu, who went missing the day before yesterday. They didn't die of illness. They were locked in the basement and used as specimens. What? Lu Li! You're crossing my line. Colonel, your line is being trampled on by these people. This records the whole process of them turning refugees into specimens. Right under your nose, Colonel. Including my mom. Head nurse Lu Feng. She's locked in the quarantine zone waiting to be harvested right now. They say this is for human evolution. What an absurd and cruel excuse. Colonel, you're regular military. Are you supposed to protect every single life inside this defense line? Or these butchers who treat lives as test data? Colonel, don't forget those meds. Only we can maintain the immune balance of this defense line. Lu Li, give me the evidence. I'll handle it. No. I want you to seal all equipment right now. Release all detained people. Otherwise, no one here will back down even an inch today. Hey, don't forget the virus balance of this defense line. Without our technology, all 10,000 people here will turn into the monsters outside in 3 days. That head nurse is the perfect antibody source. You can't... Shut up. All soldiers, listen up. I'm Wei Jin, commander of the Southern Suburbs Defense Line. I swore to protect civilians, not to condone killing. Military police from the administration building. Immediately detain all on site. Life Pharma field staff. I'd rather lead these 10,000 people to die of infection than let them die under the scalpels of their own kind. You're insane. You've destroyed the hope of all mankind. No, I just stuck to the basic moral line of being human. Luli! Bring your mutual aid society and come with me to the quarantine zone. Mom. Luli! Luli! The road ahead will be much harder. Those people are just a branch. There's a much larger organization behind them. Since you've chosen to stand for justice, you have to prepare for even crueler challenges. As long as people live like decent human beings. No matter how cruel the road is, I can keep going. The pharmacy should be around here. Gravity. Hey. Hey. The perfect vessel. It's stage 2. Sonar variant. Wait for me. Uh. Ugh. My dark side. It actually gained consciousness. Weakling. I'll kill you. Uh, hey. Uh, you're the one who saved me. I'm Chen Mo, a class ability user. What about you? Luli! Mm-hmm.
Do you want to join us?
This is how things are right now. Welcome to Shinju Yuan.